This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone. Can anybody say hi?
Hi.
Yeah, hi. It is. I'm sorry. I think we just wait for two more minutes. I think we have some 40 plus people to join. I think now the time is exactly 3 o'clock. Maybe one more minute. One more minute we wait and we start the discussion. Hope you can see my screen. Hi everyone. Can somebody say that my voice is audible? Am I audible? Hi.
Yes, you're audible and your screen is visible. You're all fine.
Okay, wonderful. And okay, so let us start. Let us maintain the time punctuality. Okay. Good afternoon to all. My name is Binish, and I am joining from India, Bangalore. This is a special webinar for our partners and the prospects in UAE. It is organized in collaboration with Bistel Electronics, who is our exclusive franchisee for UAE. Okay, so in this session we would be covering mainly about our contact center solution. The astTECS, as a telephony company, we have a range of products. So we have contact center solutions, we have IPPBX, we have call recording, basically the voice logger, we have voice blasting, CRM tracking, multiple telephony related applications for enterprise communication related solutions what we have. So today we will be focusing on our contact center solution because we understand that the UAE market is getting more attraction for the contact centers. Any small companies or big companies are in the process of implementing the contact center solutions. So what we wanted to showcase is that we have a unique proposition here. Normally we compete with, or it's not that we compete. Normally the contact center solution providers in the market are the big names like Avaya, Cisco, Aspect, Genesis. These are the brands. But astTECS, being an open source based contact center solution company, as a unique advantage or a proposition in the market, because we are much more cost effective. We don't have a licensing concept. The features are by default. Customizations and integrations are immense. Each customer to customer customizations and integrations we can do. So all these things together will add a big advantage to us, okay, for our product. So keeping that in mind, so we will be covering the entire contact center solution, its features. So let me just open the presentation. Okay, so just give me a feedback. Is my presentation is visible? My screen is visible? Somebody, please.
Yeah, yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so so during this session, if you have any doubts or clarification, you have your chat on the right hand side. Please post your questions. We would be happy to address those questions once we complete with the presentation. Okay, good. So the astTECS call center solution. Okay, So these are the outline that we are going to cover. Call center without dialer. Okay, so there is another name mainly we use for call center is call center dialer. So dialer, the name derived from its one of the feature that, you know, in the outbound telemarketing scenario, the dialers are used. So dialers simply means you upload a set of numbers and the system will start blasting these numbers automatically. We call it as predictive dialer, right? So that is how the another synonym name for the contact center solution is call center dialer. It's mainly in case of an outbound scenario. So these are the outlines. So call center without a call center solution, call center with astECS call center solution, a connectivity diagram, features of call center solution, then few screenshots, because we are unable to arrange a live demo during this session, but based on the partner request or customer request, we can arrange separate live demos for our partners and customers. So we have few screenshots, then a few major customers, okay, about astECS, then we have a partnership program to be discussed. Okay, so now let us come to call center without a call center solution. So when we say call center, see, there are n number of call centers in the market, be it in UAE or in India or any country in that matter. So let us not think that call center means only the call centers are going to implement the contact center solution. No, that is not the case. So today, any company which is dealing with a product or a service, be it, you know, when I say service, it can be a hotel, it can be a, you know, it can be a, you know, a ticket booking service. So any services and any products, any company which deals with products and services, they wanted to establish a contact center to manage their customers, improve their sales, right? Support their customers, raise a ticket. For all this purpose, they wanted to implement. So we call it as a captive call centers. There are two types of contact centers in the market. One is the outsourced call centers. Mainly they take process, basically the telemarketing and technical support, the third party. For example, in India, we have outsourced call centers more, right? So that is one category of call centers. The other one is captive call centers. So that is the market which is booming in the all the sectors, all the countries. In India also, the captive call center. Captive call center means the in-house call centers to cater to their own customers and needs. Okay, any company which has a product or service, they wanted to establish their own call centers. Okay, so there are two types of call centers in the market. So we address to both. So when we have so many call centers or so many people wanted to establish a call center, currently what's happening is that everything is a manual. So here on this screen, what we wanted to show is that if you have a call center, you have a customer facing department, but you don't have a professional contact center solution, then what happens? So the first thing is that the manual calls, you make calls by manually, you make calls manually. That means a lot of time is lost. No filtration, right? So no filtration of disconnected or not reachable, no answer numbering. There is no filtration, right? If you wanted to, for example, you have your salespeople wanted to make 100 calls in a day, and they make 100 calls. What happens? They may be able to talk to only 20 people, but their day is ended dialing these 100 numbers because they have to dial all these 100 numbers. There is no filtration. Okay, so opposite of this, I will be covering in the next screen, where we will discuss that once we implement astECS call center solution, what all difference it's going to take, going to make. Uh, I request, please be on mute so that it won't disturb others. So, yeah, please be on mute. So waste of time and productivity. Customer details captured on individual Excel sheet, or customer details are captured manually. No proper follow-ups or callbacks. If you don't put a proper callbacks, follow-ups, then there is a chance of you are losing the opportunities. No supervisor tools for monitoring and reporting. See, if you don't have a contact center solution, how are you going to monitor your people and generate a report? See, the traditional call centers, what happens is that everybody uses an Excel, and end of the day there will be an MIS team who collates these collates these excels and create a reports, but these excels are filled by the individual salespeople, right? So you don't have a mechanism to verify it. Okay, so manual reports may lead to a lot of errors, and most important, there is no recordings, right? There is no, it is mandatory for legal as well as training and compliance. The call recording is very important, so you don't have a recording to go back and cross verify if something went wrong. There is no tool to monitor, no scrubbing of DNC numbers. Okay, scrubbing of DNC numbers, some countries, you will have specific, the telecom regulations that you should not call somebody for an unsolicited, um, uh, uh, unsolicited marketing activities. Then you will get penalized. So how you filter those numbers, right? um, Normally what happens, if you call somebody and he is in a DND, we call do not disturb, or there are multiple names for it. Each country has different list of numbers where there is a DND, or do not call is enabled. So if you call them, you may, if they will file a complaint, then there is a chance that you will get fine and your numbers will get blocked, all these issues. So this is what happens is, if, when you run a call center in a traditional manner without a contact center solution. Call center with astTECS dialer. So astTECS, so when you, okay, now assume that you are running so far the call center in a traditional manner. So now we are going to implement a contact center solution. Then what happens? So the traditional telephones replaced by a robust contact center technology, right? Now the agents will be using computers, they will be using headphones, right? Then automatic and predictive dialing ensures complete utilization and increased productivity. So in an outbound scenario, you have features like predictive dialing, automatic dialing, manual, progressive. Okay, there are, so we will discuss more about auto dialing, all or predictive dialing in the next slides. In short, what we are trying to say is that the all process is automized. Okay, data captured and history maintained of customer calls, very important. So you capture customer information on a agent screen, so that the history also is maintained. If the same customer calls again, when he called previously, what was his call, what was the comment, all these things will pop up in front of the agent. Coding of each call to provide, okay, so in a contact center solution, each call will be ended with a disposition, proper disposition. This disposition is customizable based on the each company process, right? It can be a sales made, it can be a callback, it can be not interested. So there is an end result to that, we call it as call disposition. So the benefit is that end of the day, you can pull out a call disposition report where you can see each person, how many calls he has made and what is the call dispositions, right? How many sale made, how many not interested, how many customers you spoke to, all this information you will get. Call recording you will get. Then you have a real-time monitoring where you can see each agent status, right? At what time he have logged in, what is his current status, how many calls he has attended, what is his stock time, all this information you can see from the the real-time dashboards. Then callback scheduling, right? So you can schedule a callback and it will give you a reminder that you have a callback. So this will ensure that you don't miss your follow-up. Then skill-based routing, IV. Okay, this is not feature I am explaining. This is what difference it can make. The way you run the call center once you implement a contact center solution as such from a traditional way of running it. Okay, so now again, let me repeat, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat session, which is on your right hand side, and we will be addressing those questions once we have the presentation done. So this is the astTECS dialer architecture. Okay, so this is the architecture. So you have so this is a box based solution. So we have solution for 5 agents, 10 agents, 30, 60 and 100 agents. Okay, so as a box solution. So above 100 we have a clustered architecture where we give it multiple boxes clustered for load balancing, redundancy and all, which can go up to 2500 agents, right? So that is the capacity that no, we are talking about from 5 agents, 2500 agent solution can be built using our solutions. So if you closely look at the architecture, I hope everybody is on the same screen. Yes, somebody can say yes, then
Yes.
okay, wonderful, because it's otherwise it's just one way. So I will be just talking, because everybody, on an interactive session will be little difficult because a lot of people are joining. uh, yeah, good. Okay, so now, so you have the astTECS contact center server which will be installed on premise. Okay, then on your left hand side is a trunk, so you can connect all type of trunks. You can connect FXO, you can connect ISD and PRI even lines, you can connect the GSM gateways, and you can connect VoIP or IP trunk or a SIP trunk, right? All these four combinations are possible with our contact center solution. You can configure based on customer uh, requirement, or based on customer site availability, what the customer has got. If a customer has already analog lines, right, he can connect that to it. He can connect PRI, he can connect GSM, he can connect SIP trunk. Okay, so now, so on your right hand side you have the extra, we call it as agent side. So on the agent, normally in a contact center, agent will be using a computer with an headset, right? Because they have an agent page, they log into the agent screen and they attend calls, so that they can do after call work, SDW. No, they can enter the customer information, capture the data. All these things can be done. But there are some customers where they don't have a PC. They just wanted to run the show only from the IP phones. That's also is possible. So you can connect IP phones anyway. You can connect, but you can also receive calls to the IP phones. But in a typical call center, normally it is a computer with headphones. Okay, so now, um, so that was the architecture. So now the solutions available for, this is just a category of call center. So you have outbound dialer, or outbound call center. You have an inbound call handling contact center. They mainly, there are domestic call center, international call center. Domestic means you cater within the UAE. International means, maybe an outsourced call center, or you may be predominantly calling US, or you are receiving calls from US, right? Then so why we segregate this domestic and international? Because in domestic you will be using the local telephone lines, but in international you will be using VoIP DIDs and VoIP minutes, which will bring down your overall telecom expense, drastically down. Maybe a 60 to 70% will be less. And you can have multiple trunks. So it has a functionality called LCR, least cost routing. And you make a domestic calls, it goes through your traditional, not traditional, your existing PST and domestic trunk. And when you make an international calls, it can go through the VoIP automatically. Then you have a blended call center. When you say blended call center, it handles everything, right? Inbound, outbound, it can make international, domestic. So in short, what we are trying to explain is that our contact center solution, can be used for all these scenarios. Why we are highlighting this is that there are contact center solutions out there in the market which can support only inbound, maybe on a license base, only inbound license, only outbound license. You want both, you have to buy both the licenses, right? A lot of such complications will be there. But astTECS contact center solution by default supports any of these combinations, so you don't have to buy any additional, there is no additional cost. It's all by default in the buyout price. Okay, so now here I think these are the features, outbound features and inbound features. uh, so the point is that it is not like that you buy the product and you get only one of these set of features. No, by default, as I mentioned, the system supports outbound and inbound, and by default you will get all these features, okay, inbound and outbound. But here the main idea is to explain to you what are these features, right? So okay, so now the predictive dialing. Okay, I think it will be little exhaustive if I try to explain all the features in detail, but let me just touch base so that you will have an understanding what it is. So predictive dialing. So what is predictive dialing? So there are different dialing modes which the system supports. One is predictive dialing, the other one is the progressive or a preview dialing, the third one is the manual dialing, right? So predictive dialing means you know it is mainly used in a telemarketing scenario or a sales or a survey, in such scenarios where you wanted to reach out to large number of people and the database which you have is not up to dated which means you are not sure how many numbers are right numbers, right? For example, you have 100,000 database, the lead, we call it as leads or a contact list, 100,000. So now you have a 30-seat call center, and what you do, right? It's basically a telemarketing or a sales. You are selling a credit card or an insurance. So what you do, you upload this 1 lakh numbers into the dialer, okay, and you enable the predictive dialing mode. Then the system will automatically start dialing the numbers. Okay, you have 30 agents, and it dials based on a ratio. For example, you can set a ratio. That means, for example, you give a ratio of 1:2. That means for 30 agents, the system will blast 60 numbers. 1:2. For 30, it will be 60. So the system will dial 60 numbers, assuming that out of the 60, at least 30 will get connected. uh, okay, 30 getting connected is very rare scenario, because the 50% connectivity is very very high industry standard, because I'm talking about a database which you have bought view which is not verified, a typical database which you buy, the numbers are wrong, multiple or not reachable, or people will not attend the call. All these issues will be there. So you blast 60 calls, and even if 20 get connects, right, they will be immediately on call. So how here it happens is that once the customer answers the call, then only it will be thrown to the agent. Okay, so the system will dial so many numbers, and whomever is answering the call will be thrown to the agent. Okay, now you think from the agent perspective. So the agent logs into the system, and he or she need not have to dial any numbers, just waits for the live call. Okay, and the predictive dialing works very effectively, that agent will get back to back live calls, right? So by doing this predictive dialing, you are eliminating all other activities, the dialing the number, waiting for the dial tone, waiting for the ring, then no answer. All this unanswered call related issues are filtered by the call center solution itself. So the agent's job is to just attend the live calls. So in a typical call center scenario, if he does a manual dial, maximum he can dial 100 numbers, and he will be able to talk to maybe 30-40 people. But in a predictive dialing mode, the system will dial 300-400 numbers, and the agent will end up talking to 80 to 100 customers based on the your average call length. Some products will, they have to talk to 15 minutes, then it's not 80 calls. It industry to industry it differs, but my point is that a 300% growth in talking to the customers can be achieved by using a predictive dialing. So you talk to more people, obvious that you get more business or more hot leads and more conversions, right? So that way the predictive dialing is one of the major feature for the outbound call centers. Then you have a progressive dialing. I think predictive dialing, there is a, okay, so I'm just jumping to the screen to show what is the difference between a predictive dialing and progressive dialing. So you can see the diagram, the pie chart. One side you have progressive dialing, one side predictive dialing. So the talk time you see in the predictive dialing, this is a 1 hour pie chart. In the predictive dialing, 50 minutes are talk time, but in progressive it is only 34 minutes are talk time. But when it comes to manual dial, it will be much lesser. It can be only 10 minutes talk time as an industry average, right? So a 10 minutes manual dial talk time to a 50 minutes predictive dialing talk time, you can see the the talk time difference or the productivity. So you can take it further. If you talk to more customer, you will have more conversions, more business. You can quantify it however you need it. Okay, so 50 minutes and 34 minutes, what happened? Ready, and 34. So what's the difference between a predictive dialing and progressive dialing? In progressive dialing, the system will not automatically dial the call. Every process remains the same. You have 100,000 numbers, you upload it, but system will not predict and dial. There is no auto dialing or a predictive dialing. You have to manually initiate the call. Just click dial next. Okay, then it will dial. So some process is like this. So your database is little more good, or your your customers are high net worth customers. You don't want just blast the calls to them. You wanted to see whom I am going to call and make a call. So that is what the progressive dialing does. Okay, then you have manual dialing. So the manual dialing means you key in the number manually, then you dial it. So manual dialing is traditionally, all the call centers it is used manual dialing, but in the contact center solution also you can have the manual dialing facility. Some case, you wanted to call somebody immediately which is not there in the list, you can initiate a manual dialing. The next is voice blasting. So the voice blasting is nothing but it is a new trend, right? The SMS will be replaced by the voice message. I'm sure that everybody will be getting in a day at least few calls attached to a voice message. You attend the call, it can be a flight delay, it can be a now the trend is that COVID message, right? You get a call, you get a precautionary measures, COVID-19 related thing. In election time, you will get a lot of election propaganda messages, right? It can be anything. It can be a promotional. You get a call from your bank telling that your credit card limit is due for increment, or to be increased, or your bill is due, right? And they can also get a feedback. If you're interested, your credit limit is approved to increase. If you're interested, press 1. So you press 1, automatically your credit limit will be increased. So a lot of companies, the voice blasting itself as a very big opportunity in the market. So we have a standalone voice blasting solution also, but along with the contact center solution, voice blasting is another feature which we give it by default, which will be a huge value add. So when you talk to the customer, any company can utilize this voice blasting, right? If it is an hospital, you can do a voice blasting about your new scheme or new doctor joint, or you have a health checkup going. You wanted to reach out to all the companies has got a database, and you want to reach out this database in a day's time. Record a file, upload it, upload the number, enable voice blasting, schedule it, pull out the report. How many people heard, how many people have given a response, everything can be captured. Such a beautiful feature is voice blasting. Filter based calling. Okay, filter based calling is something, you can filter region wise or country wise. You can, these are basically admin feature where you can filter few numbers and make calls. Lead management. So lead management, so see, when I say outbound features, in the main outbound features are predictive dialing, progressive dialing, the manual dialing, and voice blasting. These are the outbound features. Other features are more or less general features. Like lead management is the same way. You have so many numbers and you wanted to see how many are dialed, how many are not connected, how many are invalid. All these things you can do. That's what lead management. Answering machine detection, see, that is a big issue. AMD we call it as, if you're calling international, still in US and all, a lot of answering machines are there. If a call goes to the answering machine, the call is stuck. So we need to detect that. Then you not have to pass to the agent. Otherwise, the agents will be attending answering machine calls more than the human calls. So AMD, answering machine detection, is an important feature. Call recording is a standard both for inbound, outbound. It records the call. We will have a screenshots and we will explain more on call recording there. Callback scheduling and reminders, very important, applicable for both inbound and outbound. So callback scheduling. So for example, I'm talking to the customer and customer says that, okay, call me next week or 20th. Call me 20th at 2 o'clock. How this agent remembers it? All right. Normally, he can note it down in his diary. There is a high chance that you miss at that particular time. But here, if a customer you're talking and he's call me on 20th 2 o'clock 2 p.m., you can dispose your call with a callback scheduling. So you go to the callback scheduling, you enter the date, time, and close the call. And on 20th, before 5 minutes, it will give an alert right on your screen that you have a callback. So whatever activity you are doing, you can stop that and come back and make this call, right? So the callback scheduling is very essential part of your follow-ups. If you don't do that, there is a high chance of losing the opportunities, or opportunities going to the competitors, right? So callback scheduling and reminders are there. So these are okay, but these are general features. Don't confuse, because under outbound it is kept irrelevant whether it is an outbound feature or inbound feature. When you buy the solution, you will get all these things. The customer get all these things. So inbound features, what are the main inbound features? That is AZD. What is automatic call distribution? That is automatic call distribution. What is it? So in an inbound scenario, you have maybe 30, 60 or 100 agents. So how, on what logic this calls has to be routed to these 60, 30 agents, right? So there should be some ACD functionality. So that is what automatic call distribution. It has an intelligence. So normally the standard ACD, logic is the longest idle agent. Which agent is idle for a longer time, the call will be routed to him, ensuring that an equal distribution of calls amongst the agents. Then other one is multi-level IVR, interactive voice response. When the multi-level, I see, of course, this is not a great feature because nowadays everybody has an IVR, but the beauty is that you go with a proprietary solution, they will have limitation on configuring levels. They will say 2 levels, 3 levels, 5 levels IVR. But the beauty with our solution is that it is unlimited. When I say unlimited, for example, the typically customer will use 0 to 9, right? 0 to 9. Then each level can again have 0 to 9. So 0 to 9 into 0 to 9 is the combination, the scale of IVR that you can have. Skill based routing, it is part of the IVR feature. Skill based, you have a language skill, you have a technical skills, and you have a departmental skills like sales, accounts. So you wanted to route the calls based on the skill sets of your employees, you can do that. Automatic script build up. Okay, so this is applicable both for inbound and outbound. See, in a typical call center, everything is very well scripted, right? The agent should just follow the script. So where do they refer the script? Again, you don't want a printout to be on the table to refer the script. So the call center solution itself has an interface where the script will automatically appear based on the process. Okay. Okay. Hope I'm just checking. Everybody is there with me. Okay, the screen is visible, right? Screen is visible.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yes.
I'm just making sure that everybody is with us. And just to check, anybody has left any messages? Yes. I think I can see if you click here to reveal. Okay. Okay. So when you enter your message, everyone, okay, the option is there, everyone, so that everybody can see. Otherwise it will go to the private. Can you make me the presenter, Hamid? Okay, can you make me the presenter? Can you make me the presenter? I didn't get you. I don't know what it mean, make me the presenter, because I am the presenter. So many people have asked for, can you make me the presenter? What is the reason? Okay, I think no glitches, right? Everybody is following. Okay, wonderful. We carry on. So automatic script, what we are telling, real-time metrics. Yeah, so you have a lot of reporting tools, both for inbound and outbound. You have real-time monitoring screen. You have call barging, call listening, right? All this historical reporting, call queue management, right? You can have multiple language-based queues. The agents will log into different queues to attend calls. You can send the call back to the queue. You can play music on, while customer, the music on queue. All these things can be done. Okay, so comparison between manual progressive dialing. Okay, more features: call transfer and conferencing, web form. Okay, call transfer and conferencing. Okay, in a call center, it's not that simple transfer or conferencing. In a call center scenario, call transfer means it has a different meaning. So, for example, we call it as a three-way conferencing, in the sense that I am talking to a customer, and customer wanted to talk to somebody else. So there are three ways we can transfer. One is the blind transfer. The blind transfer is that I'm transferring the call to a third party, but I don't know whether this call is going to get connected, or whatever the person with whom I am going to confer is available. I don't know. So I blindly transfer the existing call to a third party and come out and ready to take the next call. So that is called as blind transfer. The other one is dial with customer. So that is this is the something which all the call center uses. So I'm talking to a customer, and there is some escalation or some clarification. I wanted to transfer this call. So what if you enable the, or if you use the dial with customer, what happens? The customer will go on a hold. Then I first talk to the person with whom I am going to transfer this call and brief him about the history of this call. Then I do a transfer. So when the call get transferred to him, the customer need not have to explain everything once again, right? It's already briefed, and he can start from where the other agent left, right? And the other agent will come out of the call and ready to take the next call. The third method is that the three-way calling. The three-way calling is nothing but the agent transfers the call live to the third person, and all the three will be in a call. It's basically a three-way calling. So that is what call transfer and conferencing means in a contact center scenario. uh, so the next feature is a web form. So web form is an interesting feature where you know you wanted to enable some link of the websites or web pages for reference. So you have a web form. When I explain the agent screen, you will get more detail about that. So upon a click on that, the exact page will be opened in the browser. So that is what web form. Blended on demand recording. Okay, recording is by default, but you want few users call to be recorded, or on demand recording is available. Blended inbound outbound, multiple campaigns. Yeah, so for example, you buy a 30-seater contact center solution and you can run multiple campaigns. When I say campaigns, it is process. For example, you have your maybe typical call center, right? You take, so you have a insurance sales, you have a credit card sales. All these are different process, right? So it can be an outbound calling as well as an inbound. Both can be a separate campaigns, right? So in nutshell, it can support multiple campaigns. Call barging, call listening is a interesting feature which is part of the monitoring. So call barging means if two people are in call, so I can just enter the call without permission. It can be possible only from the admin access. It has a separate authorization, username, passwords and all. It's a securely secured. And so call barging means you just join the conversation, right? Two people are already talking and you join them. Then there is a call listening. Call listening means two people are conversing and you are listening without the other two knowing. So that is called listening. A lot of call centers, they use that, right, for training or monitoring purpose. Then there is another feature called call whisper. Okay, it's not listed here, but call whisper, which is also available. Call whisper is nothing but you talk to your agent, but customer will not hear you. So it's basically to gauge the customer. Maybe a negotiation is happening and you wanted to help your agent, and you talk to the agent, but customer cannot hear it. So you have call barging, call listening, and call whisper. Recycling of leads. Okay, I told you already, you can, based on the the dial status. You can recycle the leads, multiple DID configuration, call queue and parking. Okay, these are general features. Okay, so we come to the dashboard. So this our UC 2020, the new release of our contact center solution, has got a lot of modified dashboards and reporting tools. So these are the few screenshots. So here you can see total call answer time. Basically we call it as a service time. How much time a call has come to the server and how much time it has come to the or landed to the IVR and how much time it took to service that call. That is what the call answer time, the call disposition, the matrix. It has got a lot of things, inbound, outbound, how much is the inbound, how much is the outbound, total answer, dropped call, statistics. Then you get an agent status, ready agent, agent in call, paused agents, others, calls in queue, agent logged in, right? All these things you can see. So again, more screens like this, total agent logged in, total talk time, right? Call time distribution, right? Internal calls, incoming, outgoing, which will be more call versus ready agent graph, yeah. So these are the top 5 longest calls, top 5 longest breaks, all these updates you will get, dashboards which can be projected to a bigger screens, normally call center does. So more screens, call time distribution, again different types of screens you can use. So okay, I think some mess up. Okay, so this is how the agent screen look like, right? You can see the agent screen. Agent screen has got a lot of functionalities. It has a field where you can capture customer info. You can, on your right hand side, you can see the other agent status. So when you transfer a call to an existing agent, you can see is in a call or is he free available. So the color code denotes that agent ready, in call or post, whatever it is, right? So this will help you to understand for the agent what the others are doing. So if I wanted to call somebody, I can check if he's in a call. I cannot call him now, so I can wait, or I can call somebody who is in a ready state. Ready means he's ready but he's not on a call right now. And on your left hand side you can see functional keys. You are active, call hang up, call transfer, all these things you can see here. So call detail report. So as I mentioned, there are set of inbound outbound reports which you can see. Agent performance report. So agent performance report simply means what is his login time, at what time he has logged in, logged out, what is his actual time, what is his break time. So in a call center solution, the agent login to log out, everything will be captured. So if he's going for a break, he has to enable a post code, right? If he's going for a lunch break, he has to enter a lunch break code. If he's going for a team meeting, it has to be entered. Whenever he come back, he has to resume to start the work. So end of the day, how much was his break time, how much was his productivity, how many calls, talk time, average talk time, wait time, everything, you get complete performance reports. Abandoned call status, average talk time, average handling time, agent login logout reports, ACW, after call work, trunk utilization, call disposition, inbound service level report. Inbound service level means, as I mentioned, call lands at up how much time it is taken to service that particular call. Postcode breakup. Postcode means the break. Basically, IVR report. What are the IVR options? Drop call report. So it has got some 30 to 40 types of reports, but each companies will be utilizing 3-4 reports which is more relevant to them. Coming to voice logger, I have mentioned that you will have a complete call recording solution. So this is the voice logger. It will have a separate authorization to enter the call recording. Not everybody can access it. So once you access it, this is how the screen. It has play, delete, download option. That also based, some people can only play, some people can download, some people can delete, or some people can do a combination of tasks. Now you can search a file out of lakhs or thousands of files. You can search a particular file based on the source, destination, or time, date, and the number, right? You can search a file instantly and you can play. So this is the administration screen from where you will be managing your campaign. You're creating agents, you are creating creating campaigns, or creating your IVR, creating your call queues or ACD functionalities. Everything will be done from this administration screen. So this is how the administration screen looks like. Okay, so this is the general contact center set of features. Now see, any call center today's market scenario, it's not that call center solution is just a standalone, right? It has to be integrated with a lot of applications. It can be CRM, it can be your ERP, it can be your social media, it can be your website, a lot of things, or your ticketing system. A lot of applications around it needs to be integrated. So that's what we are discussing here. So we have a CRM integration, so we can easily we have already integrated with Soho. If you go to Soho website, so we are the official partner for astTECS based CRM integration for Soho, Salesforce, MS Dynamics, Talisma. So all these CRMs can be integrated with our solution. So when I say integration, you have a question in mind. What is it, right? CRM is something which your customer relationship or customer details are managed. What is it to be done with the contact center or a calling system? So there are multiple points of integration which we can do. One, we call it as a click to call. For example, you have a CRM and you wanted to initiate a call from your CRM. Instead of copying and pasting or dialing manually, just enable a call button. Normally CRM has now by default with an API. So they click on that, the call will be placed by the contact center solution. We call it as click to call. And in the inbound scenario, when a call coming in, okay, on the agent page, you wanted to populate this customer info from the CRM, or the agent can sit in front of the CRM itself, and when a call comes, based on the CLI, we need to we call it as inbound call pop-up, right? The entire customer history will appear in front of the agent. So agent knows what is his name, from where he is calling, what product he has bought, what all information it is already there in the CRM. Okay, then there are a lot of data passing, CDR posting, call recording posting to the CRM. So a lot of such integrations we can do with your existing CRM or whatever CRM you have, okay, which will be a beautiful feature. Then social media integration, right? Nowadays that is a trend. You need to integrate with WhatsApp, you need to integrate with your Facebook. Yeah, so there are certain scenarios, there are certain restrictions. It's not that we can just integrate with the social media. You need to get the APIs and we may require the supports, but of course you can do integration with a lot of social media applications. Then there are integration with email integration. So email integration, nothing but, so when I say email integration, it doesn't mean that you can send and receive email. That is not the purpose. So the email integration purpose is that you are you're talking to a customer, and after the call an email has to go. Yes, so we can automate it, or the agent can on a click can send an email. The same way SMS. So a lot of companies uses this SMS feature. The call is ended and an SMS should go. You spoke to so and so person. If you're satisfied, it can be a feedback, right? It can be a feedback, or it can be an information. It can be a confirmation, whatever. You have a requirement of sending an SMS after the call. It can be automated. Then IVR payment gateway integration. See, that is another point. A lot of companies, we already done the banking and all. On the call you make the payments, right? The agent will say, okay, you're ready to make the payment, sir, then I will transfer your call to our payment gateway IVR. So payment gateway IVR providers there are banks which provides gateway, and we integrate with them, right? So they enter their credit, so it needs to be very secure. They enter the credit card numbers, the PIN number, everything there, CVV number, everything they are entering. It goes directly to the banking portal, and nothing will be get saved on the IVR. So that we can do. Okay, so these are the main integrations, other integrations, email, SMS, and payment gateways. So another thing is that we call it as ast monitor. This is part of the call center solution. So now everybody is using a smartphone, so you can track your call center from a smartphone. You can see how many agents are ready. It's an app which you can download on your smartphone, and I think you needs to be on a Wi-Fi unless until the call center server is not on a public IP. If it is on a public IP, wherever you are, you can just see on the screen on your mobile. You just open your app, you can see ready agents, agents in call, post agents, all these things, and you can drill down. So ready agents, you click, it will drill down and show you who are all ready. Post agents, you can click and see how long they are post and who is that, right? So very useful app. A lot of our customers uses it, and you get it by default. There is no additional cost to it. Okay, so let me just okay, good. Please you leave your questions. Okay, we don't have much questions so far. Okay, please leave your questions if you have any. We would be happy to answer those questions. So we continue with the presentation. Another thing is that asked VoIP minutes for international dialing, right? So we have a VoIP minute service. For example, your calls are to US or UK or Australia, New Zealand, wherever the VoIP is legal countries. You're calling, you can have the VoIP minutes for a cheaper calling rates, right? Which can be configured. At the same time, DID. So a lot of call centers, they receive international calls. US number, DID number. It is on a monthly rental. So we can provide you both DIDs, international DID numbers, country specific, as well as the minutes to make. Minutes is for to make outbound calls, and DIDs to receive inbound calls, right? So you can have a good telecom cost saving using the VoIP. Yeah, I think support soft phones. Yeah, so the agents will be using soft phones. You can have IP phones, PC with laptops. So these are the the infrastructure that is required. Okay, so when it comes to this tech, okay, so this is about the product. So far we were discussing about our contact center solution. I think we covered the important feature sets. Uh, I have taken you through few of these, the real-time screen and agent page, all these things, and the essential, most important features I've covered. The integrations we have covered. Coming to the support. Any country. So astTECS as a company, we operate near to 40 countries. In Middle East, we have a strong presence. In UAE, we are in Saudi, we are in Qatar, Oman, Kuwait. These are the places in Middle East we are present. Then Africa, we have a very good presence in most of the countries, from Egypt to Ghana or Ivory Coast. We have presence, right? And we have presence in Asia. So we have a global support center in India. So we manage 24/7 support for our customers, ensuring that 99% uptime, because it's an IPPBX and IP-based solution. So the 99% supports are remote. In case on-site is required, we have our franchisees. Bistal is our UAE franchisee who will give you the on-site support, the first level support, right? So we guarantee that your contact center solutions are up and running, and you are getting the required assistance from us. This has a scattered few of our customers, very few. Altogether across the globe, we have 5,000 plus customers using our contact centers. These are the few in this DP world. Dinata, are from the UAE, VFS Global, then we have Fursan Travel. I think Fursan is from Saudi. Then you have Orange, Muscom, the service providers, MTN from Africa. In India, we have, the banks. We have Indian Railway, DRDO, Dial 100, 108, Pizza Hut. So these are the, few customers spread across the globe that we have. This is just to show that a few of the other awards. We were the Red Herring Global 100 brand, Global 100 company. We have won in 2013. So we have, if you just Google it, astTECS, you get a number of awards and the press releases that we have. ISO certified, we have 9001 2015 certified. Yes, so this is what about our contact center solution. And so when it comes to this is a special session which we arranged for our partners in UAE in connection with Bristol Electronics. So we have a strong partner program, right? So in the partner program, I hope you can see the screen. So I have just taken you to the partner program. So uh, you can become our partner. So being a partner, your responsibility is to find out a prospective, lead, a customer, and pass it to our local franchisee, right? From there, when you get a lead, it will be registered for you, and we will make sure that the lead is attended, the inquiry or need analysis is done, and the demos are arranged, and the right proposal is given, keeping your margins. Or it can be the either way. Either, we propose directly to the customer, we in the sense the local franchisee proposes or the partner proposes. So when we give a price to the partner, we have a special partner price, to give to the partners, right? So we have a MSP, the maximum suggested selling price, then we have a partner price. So your prices are protected. So, and you have a good margin to quote to the customer, plus the support, the SLAs, all these things, you will get margins. So by becoming a partner, you know cutting edge VoIP product solution. So contact center is one of our products. You go to our website, you can see near to 25 to 30 range of products that we have. So you are eligible to sell all of these products, and we provide you the training and low investment and return. Becoming a partner, ideally you don't have any investments. You just hunt for some leads and give to us the leads, and you get your margins. Flexible business model, competitive pricing, that is another thing. A country like UAE and all, where we have a good competition from, or good presence of the proprietary companies like Avaya, Cisco. Earlier it was only those brands, but today the companies in UAE are willing to explore other alternative solutions because of the cost factor. So there, the our products, which is and cost effective and feature rich. Any feature which can given by the proprietary is available by default. So you will have a huge and extensive training. You become our partner, we will arrange a training program for you. It can be an online or an on-site. We will support you, and a special technical and sales support. You will have a dedicated partner manager. Franchisee support will be there. So becoming our partner, so you will win without much investments, or actually no investments, right? We will identify sometimes leads for you, and we promote our partners. So consider that option as well. Okay, so yeah, so that's it about the astTECS contact center solution and the partnership program. Thank you so much everybody for joining. I think we have uh, something around I don't know, 24 to 30 people joining the webinar today. Thank you so much. I don't see much questions. I think if somebody wanted to ask me, please, you can unmute and ask the questions, or you wanted to leave a message. We will have 10 more minutes, so please, open to questions. So anybody ask questions, please? Can assist Panasonic NEC Avaya? Okay, Mahesh Kumar is asking a question. Drop your questions here, okay? Can existing system like Panasonic NEC Avaya, can you complete, Mr. Mahesh, can you complete your question, please? So, do you mean can we integrate with the existing system? Yes, that's a possibility. So, if you have an existing system like Panasonic or NEC or Avaya, and you wanted to, yeah. Yes, Mahesh, I understood your question. Thank you. The question is, can we integrate with your existing EPABX or IPPBX over a SIP? So the answer is yes, we can integrate. There are two methods of integrating. One is over a SIP, provided that the existing system has a SIP license with it or SIP available with it. We can integrate with our solution. Our solution is by default is a SIP enabled. So we can do a SIP to SIP integration. The second option is that a PRI to PRI pairing, right? So the existing system will have a PRI port. Then we will have a PRI port, and this PRI port to PRI port integration also we can do. There are two ways we can integrate with your existing system, over a SIP or over a PRI to PRI pairing. Okay, Magesh, I hope that's answered. Okay, any more questions? Questions, please. Okay. Okay, good. I think I don't see any more questions. We will share you the link of this session. This session is being recorded, so we will share you the link. If you want, you can refer to that. And you have any questions, please reach out to us, our franchisee in Dubai, or you can directly reach out to us, and we would be happy to assist you. Any point of time. Okay. So any more questions? We just wait. Okay, so we end this session. Okay, one more. We will be sharing the. Okay, that is Joby. Okay, thank you everyone, and nice meeting you guys. And it is pleasure having you here. And we look forward to working with you guys. And we will be coming back to you with. I think one more message has come. Can you make me the presenter? Yogesh is asking, can you make me the presenter? Okay. Thank you so much. We end this session. Thank you.